What do you want? What do you want? You definitely don't want this. You definitely don't want a tub of broccoli.
She's so... She like really clawed at me, like, what are you doing, you dickhead?
Class. Hold, 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 hold. Michael Thurston. What a fucking unit. Mate, your back is insane.
Chilling, getting a tan and fucking get myself sorted. I was in the state of it, wasn't it? Get myself sorted for bank holiday. That's all I want to do.
How many weeks away? 2, 3?
3, 1, 4.
Go on. Nip them shoulder blades together.
10 seconds.
Yes. Hey. Go on, son. Yes, sir.
Well, I think chocolate this morning, mate. Come back with, you've got 2 chocolate.
What a lot of people tend to do, and what I used to do, I think probably for the first 2 to 3 years of training, was doing it completely wrong. So every time I was rowing, most of the time it was when I was doing a horizontal row, not so much a vertical one, but a horizontal one. The first thing that would happen would be that I would bend my elbow first. Okay, so this would be happening. So it's just flexion at the elbow. My shoulder's not actually moving back. It was all bicep. So the issue with that was I wasn't engaging my back whatsoever. And it kind of makes sense because I remember after every back workout, I had such a huge pump on with my biceps. Look at the trapezius on the kid. So think of this whenever you're training your back. Whatever weight that you're holding, learn to pull your shoulders back first. So I would literally just stand here doing this, retract the shoulders, push forward, retract the shoulders, push forward, okay? Keeping your arms completely straight, shoulders back, squeeze, push forward, shoulders back, squeeze, push forward. So once you can master doing this without any weights, then it's time to start overloading the muscles ever so slightly, because it's more than likely if you lift too heavy too quickly, you won't be able to do this and you'll end up just bending at the elbows and pulling the weight towards you with your biceps.
Squeeze. Go on, son, nip them shoulder blades. Hey, hey. Next. Big stretch that lat. Yeah. Squeeze. Go on. Yes.
Squeezy.
Now this is the thing, like with some people it comes naturally. You know, for me, when it comes to any kind of pressing movement, naturally I engage my chest. I don't really have to think about it. Whereas, you know, when I started, it wasn't a natural movement and I didn't actually know how to engage my lats. So you have to be very self-aware and think to yourself, okay, am I doing this properly or not? Do I feel it where I should be feeling it? And am I engaging my lats?
Get some structure afterwards.
6, make sure.
Go on, son. Here, boy. Good. That's good.
Escalation 10 kilos.
It's a difference. Something else that I like to do is using my hand as a hook. So if you were to grab a dumbbell or weight, whatever it might be, most of the time you'd grip it like that. And I found that when I wrap my thumb around a barbell or dumbbell, I tend to engage my bicep a little bit more. So what I do is I wrap my thumb around, my hand acts as a hook, and that whenever I'm pulling the weight towards me, I'm thinking not about pulling the weight with my hand, but by driving the weight back using my elbows. So I'm thinking about pulling my elbows backwards, not pulling the weight towards me with my hands, if that makes sense. It sounds pretty complicated, but what you need to think about is the intention of what you're trying to do as you lift the weight. So for me, thumbs around the bar, whatever it is that you're holding, initiate the movement with the working muscle, so retract your shoulders, and then I have the intention of then trying to drive my elbows as far back as possible and then squeezing the contraction as hard as I possibly can. 6, 5, 4.
To keep that back arch squeeze.
12. If you've been training for a number of years like I have, you tend to pick up a number of good habits and bad habits. Obviously you want to keep those good habits and maximize them as much as possible. With the bad ones, you need to get rid of them straight away, as soon as possible, and replace them with good habits. So bad habits could, for example, in this case mean, you know, overloading your bicep when it comes to doing a rowing movement. So what you need to do is, you know, focus on moving completely differently, which you're used to beforehand. And the problem is you're just not used to it. It's so foreign to you that it's not going to be easy and it's not going to happen like click. You know, I remember a few years ago when it really frustrated me the most was I was doing a bent over row, an underhand grip, and I just couldn't pull my shoulders back. I just physically didn't understand how to do that. I'd never really done it before, and I couldn't, you know, switch my muscles on to perform that particular movement. So, you know, I was really frustrated, I was pissed off, and I was like, right, you know, this is it. I'm sick of not being able to do something. I like being able to do stuff, and if I can't do it, it annoys me. So I made it my absolute priority to make sure that I could engage my back muscles appropriately, because I wanted a big back. I didn't want a tiny back, you know. So what I did, it wasn't exactly like full-on training, but 3 times a week I'd just go into the gym, probably spend about 15 minutes, half an hour, just going through very basic rowing movements with a very light weight and just teaching myself how to bring my shoulders back and how to bring them forward. Shoulders back, bring them forward. And then I'd bring them back, bend my elbows, drive my elbows back, and learn to squeeze the contraction. And obviously, you know, once you kind of make something a priority and you execute it successfully, you know, things will change. And after a number of weeks of doing that, all of a sudden I was like, oh wow, I can actually engage my back now, and I'm doing it properly. And, you know, I've fixed those bad habits, and over the years, I've built a pretty decent back since then.
Yes. Yes, boy.